Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday morning real estate marketing show with Ruthie Rocks, Ruth Allbrand. And I am Marketing Max. That was my signal to cue in here. This is show number 589.
Wow.
And today we're actually going to replay a topic in a video that we did, I believe a few months ago that had a ton of views on the subject of reverse mortgages. Sorry. And so this will be a tool for real estate agents and mortgage agents out there to kind of service the clientele and the prospects that are, a good demographic here at the Las Vegas Valley here. So, but before we dive into that video, Ruth, what is happening in real estate?
Well, it's a hot market, that's for sure, in this hot month of July. We listed over 190 homes. And that pushed that was one day, that was Friday, and that pushed our days of inventory to 24, 23.9. So 24 days of inventory, and we haven't hit that high of a number in a couple months.
Right.
And yeah. And the good news is, we have over 1,000 homes under $400,000 on the market, and it churns. So there's a lot of new homes to look at out there. And people are not going too high above the list price like they were. So that's helping the nerves of the buyers and the buyers' agents, because it's very nerve-wracking.
Definitely. And a lot of work too. That's, for both parties.
Yes.
Both the selling agent and the buying agent, having to put in multiple offers.
Right. Well, the price point is up to a median of $398,000, the highest it's ever been. And I hope it doesn't go to 400. That's my hope. And I think it's coming down a little bit. I kind of watch the stats, every weekend. I make sure that the median isn't creeping up there. So hopefully it stays there. We are selling a lot of $1 million homes.
Sure.
We're selling 4.5 a day. So
wow.
Yeah. And last year we were doing 1.5. So, that's a big jump in the $1 million home market. And that just makes our economy more solid here. Don't you think that's true?
I think it diversifies a little bit of the demographic that's moving here. And the people who are buying $1 million homes could be potentially business owners, right? And that's the promising thing is that they could bring companies here and talent. And that's really been kind of I guess the decelerator on the growth of Las Vegas is the not enough qualified, technically skilled workforce.
Right.
But, once more of these, top end executives and owners and, start bringing their companies here, they're going to attract and bring their workers. And hopefully we can build an infrastructure around education and things of that nature to support that and flourish that ongoing. So, I mean, the horizon here for Las Vegas is very promising here. I mean, 65,000 in Garth Brooks' sold out concert last Saturday. And I think I just read an article that the major soccer final is going to be held here at Allegiant Stadium as well. So, and the A's are still looking around to see if, this could be a market for them. So, I mean, a lot of things are happening.
Yes.
And, kudos to the home builders this time around. They didn't overextend themselves, and they're kind of keeping the easy flow of new home builds. And so if anyone's waiting for the 2008 crash in real estate market, probably not this time around, because we're not experiencing the same type of dynamics that we saw during that period of time. And right now, I mean, mortgage rates just went down again. I mean, we're looking at 30-year fixed mortgages. I was looking on Yahoo Finance here. I mean, the average rates with maybe 1 point is 2.5%. And that means at par is going to be 2.875 or 3% again.
Wow.
And so, and Jerome Powell this week, and I think, he sat in front of Congress this week again. And he said he's not going to raise our interest rates till 2023. I mean, that's the message he's been sending out for, the last year, and he's holding true to that. And so, that's going to continue to drive demand is this low interest rate. And so at least they'll keep it stable. And at one point, could we see a 10%, 20%, maybe reduction in price here. Absolutely. But
Yeah.
nowhere near close to 50, 60% that we saw until '08. So,
Right. Yeah. Well, everything I read, and everybody says this economy is so solid. I mean, the stimulus put money into the economy. And I think people don't realize that. Yes, it raised the debt. And I'm not an economist. I don't know how the debt plays into the stimulus, how that, I think you have a better explanation of that than I do, because I don't study that.
Right. No, I mean, that's how we saved off like disaster last year. We can shut down an entire economy and we can come out even stronger because, $7 extra trillion of money from thin air for the federal government injected into the economy and giving stimulus checks to everybody end up working out. I think Ben Bernanke kind of set the tone after the financial crisis. He was the federal chairman right before actually Janet Yellen and now Jerome Powell. So they took the playbook of what they did out of the financial crisis and kind of accelerated in a much more condensed, because Bernanke didn't print. He printed $4 trillion in like 3-4 years, and Jerome Powell printed $7 trillion last year in 8 months. But the good news for us is our trade partners around the world are also running on a central banking system that's reliant on fiat currency and the printing of money. And our largest trade partner, China, artificially devalues their currency to maintain the hold on manufacturing across the world. So we're not too concerned. I mean, the strength of our dollar has remained pretty strong through all this money printing. It's because it's because everybody else is printing money, and so we don't have to be too concerned about hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is going to happen when our trade partners are going to demand more dollars for the same goods and services, not necessarily supply and demand. I mean, we have a fixed amount of people that's growing and a fixed amount of products and services that we can provide. I mean, that's going to be high right now because of the supply chain issues that are happening around the world and the operation of manufacturing, distribution. There's still ports. I actually was in Huntington Beach 2 weeks ago for 4th of July weekend, and we were at the beach, and you could clearly see shipping containers on the coast still parked out there waiting to be docked and unloaded. So they're still not running. The docks aren't running at 100% either. But that's going to all go away eventually when everybody gets back to work 100%.
Yeah.
And
I heard the stock market had a 3-week run, all-time highs.
Yeah, stock market hit all-time highs. I think beginning of the end of last week, and then this week it's kind of settled down a little bit. But I mean, there's just too much money out there. I think the U.S. bank, or according to the St. Louis Federal Reserve, I mean, there's like $17 trillion in cash deposits at commercial banks right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
$17 trillion. I mean, so there's plenty of cash out there. And that's why we have these hedge funds looking at, building these real estate investment funds, private funds to buy up apartments and houses for rent, not for flipping, but for rents right now, because they realize that the dynamics of, the home prices going up is we're going to probably create a generation of renters for probably the next decade here, especially with the transient nature and the ability for workers to move remotely. Maybe people don't want to settle down in just one place because, you can open up opportunity if you're mobile across the country, maybe even across the world. And, the idea of working remotely in like Hawaii or, Fiji or, whatever one of these exotic places, and then feel like you're on vacation all the time, so that's going to be a possibility. And that means people are going to be more opted to rent if they have that mentality, because they'll move every 2-3 years or 1 or 2 years. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you're, going to move 1 to 2 years to buy a house, because you don't know, where prices are, and the cost obviously of acquiring and maintaining a house could eat away at the, your cash flow there. So, I mean, a lot of changes happening. I think it's all good though. The dynamics of what's happening around the world, we're going to shift. We're going through a major shift right now. This feels like 1999, 2000, when the .com kind of started taking off. There's going to be some companies that jockey around and and this whole crypto craze and digital currency, and it's all disrupting what we think is what should be done historically. And we're going to rethink, businesses are going to rethink a lot of things, over the next 2-3 years. And the ones that figure out will do well, and the ones that don't will, go away and become Blockbuster. So
yeah. Well, it's interesting because it feels like the economy when Clinton and Gingrich balanced the budget. The economy back then felt so strong, and it kind of feels like that, even though the budget isn't balanced. But I'm sure there's other economic factors that are making, like you said, 17 trillion in commercial banks is incredible. So, yeah. I know people make off the wall comments. Oh, we're going to have a crash. I'm not buying till, well, good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
It might be you're going to eventually be right. But whether it's 2 years from now or 10 years from now, right? Well, it's a lot of time. Yeah,
there'll be a devaluation, like you said, probably, but it will be minor. And we're not set up for a crash or a bubble. We're just too solid.
Not here, especially not here in Vegas. I mean, we don't have the same type of speculation that we had in 08, 07, 08. I don't own 5 homes right now at 100% financing. It's just right. So and rents are high, and they'll remain high. They're not going down.
No.
Right. And so cash flow, I mean, like I'll give you an example. Like if you buy, a $400,000 house right now, I mean, your mortgage is probably going to be anywhere between 1,800, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But as an investor, if you have enough money, put 20% down, I mean, then your mortgage becomes 320, right? So now it's like 1,300,
right?
And you can rent that house because that house is probably going to be like almost 2,000 square feet, 1,600, 2,000 square feet, right around there, right?
Yep.
You're renting that house for 2,100, 2,300 right now.
Yeah.
In the Vegas market, which is crazy. It blows my mind right now, but you're cash flowing at that pace, given the rate that we're going right now. And so.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think Vegas has 50% renters. 50%
is that the number? Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. So it's quite a place for investors here.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, the prospects and horizon for Vegas is very strong here. So more and more people actually are coming here to look at the rental. I have some friends that are like, now I'm like, wait a minute, maybe Vegas is a viable place. Because after the financial crisis, everybody got scared of Vegas because, this is a boom and bust town. But there's things changing right here. More industries moving here, and more things like, a big football stadium has been built. And so, I mean, there's a lot of investment happening right now.